and welcome to Cutter Farms. We're back with another episode of UMRV, and today we're going to be picking up where we left off, trying to knock out this wheat harvesting contract and eventually getting back over onto our farm to do some more work here. However, we've got a load of oats that needs to work its way back up to the elevator here so that we can keep this contract moving. And we're going to a new point that I don't think I've been to yet. So we're gonna drive on down there. I should probably set up an auto drive course for this, but I just don't have it in me, so we're gonna do it manually today. Now it looks like there's this little rickety side road right off of the field that we're on that's gonna be the easiest way to get down to this sell point. I have to say I love this road with the chunks of rock and the gravel on it, and the fact that it's actually a bumpy ride. This is feeling like a lot of fun. I haven't made it out to too many of these different side roads on the map yet here, and with a full load in this trailer we're actually having to drop down a few gears to make it up this big hill. Awesome, I love it. So we're gonna bounce our way on down here to the sell point and see if we can drop off this grain. It looks like this is gonna be conveniently located here, right around the corner from the main stoplight in town there. So I'm gonna see if we can just turn right on into this and drop our grain for this contract. It's called Mississippi grain on the sign, but I'm pretty sure this is where we need to go. We're not making any money, that's always a good sign. And there we go, we're already 19% transported for field 24. So I think what we're gonna do is we actually are gonna try and set up a course here. So let me remember how this works. We're going to start recording. I'm gonna add a stop here called grain mill, I think is what it's called. Maybe I'll call it sell point grain mill. There we go, and off we go. We'll get something recorded. Now I've already got a path recorded here from dropping off at the railroad silo dump, which is really convenient. And so that means we're gonna be able to just take this right here. In fact, what I might do is stop recording, or we're gonna do this the easy way. I just click here and click there. We've got that all recorded. And then let me loop it back around here, and we're gonna record the other part of the path going into this so that we can, in the future here, send our truck on down the easy way. There we go. And let me just back ourselves out of this a little bit so that I can see that point and hook it up. It's always hard to hook these up when you're sitting on top of them like this. And I'm just gonna drag these back away from the edge there a little bit. I got a little close to the doorway as we were coming in there. I don't want to have problems. I think that's gonna do it. It's always hard to see what's going on when you're inside the buildings like so, but let's turn that back off. And then the only thing we really need to do now is hook up the path down that little road that we were on so that I don't have to go all the way back around. You know, we've got a path to get to the field, so we'll go grab that real quick on the way back and see if we can keep this combine moving. There was just a message flashing up there in the screen. Oh my goodness. So with the actual sell point path created and taken care of, I think what we're gonna do is see if I can remember how to create a two-way path from here. So we're gonna right-click record, I think. There we go. And what I wanna do actually is, let's pause this for a minute. What I actually wanna do is get rid of this bit here, and I'm gonna have it be a straight connection into this, and then I'm also gonna have the ability for this node to come over here. This way, when we come off of this two-way, we've got the option to either come back into it or to go back out of it. And as always, I guess we should have paths to do the other ways. So if I'm coming from here, I want to be able to get curved back onto this path. You know what? I'm going to worry about that later. So with both of those paths connected back there to some kind of a way to get back into town and back out to this path, we're going to just have this be a one-lane, two-way course all the way back to the other road here. This is going to make our lives a lot easier since we don't have that many vehicles running around on auto drive. I just saw a message that our combine is getting full back in that other field, so we're going to have to go down there and get it emptied out. But I don't want to have to stop making my auto drive course in the middle of the road here. So we're going to finish this out back to the field, and then we'll jump over there and get things moving. All right, I think we've got all the courses set up here. So what I'm going to do is set this up to pick up and deliver. And I'm hoping that it's going to stop here at the waypoint and wait for us to unload into it. We'll see if it opens the tarp up. Good deal. I think this is going to work out great. So first things first, I'm going to get this baler going again since I'm standing right here. And we'll have that resume on the nearest waypoint. And then I'm going to go ahead and jump over here into the grain cart. I suppose I could be setting this up like with the course play driver. We had some problems getting that working though. I don't know if it's this tractor that's not working right or what, but I gave that a try and it didn't seem to catch up with the driver very well. So we might as well just do a little bit of the cart driving ourselves here. Not a lot else going on the farm. We will need to find the time to get the bales ran back up to the farmyard there. We're going to put those into the bale storage building that we've got, and that's going to let us have some straw for our feed here. There's just been a lot going on the farm in the last few episodes. We're finally getting back up to speed on things. I'm excited to see the financial situation improving so far and just the farm continuing to grow and expand. That's been a lot of fun. With the combine emptied, I think what I'm going to do is put this grain cart up here where I'm hoping it's going to be out of the way, right on the edge of the grass here. And I am going to tell it to try and follow the combine. We'll see how well it does while we're gone. And while that's moving, I'm going to go ahead and take this load of square bales up to the farm. I'm really curious to see if this is going to work out well with our feed situation. We do have that larger feed mixer, a modded feed mixer that holds a lot more capacity on it now. I'm curious to see what mix of hay and straw bales I'm going to need to toss in there in order to get to a good TMR mix. We've still got a few hay bales sitting outside the barn here as well. I think what I want to do is unload all of this straw here as well, and then we can just mix the feed right here by hand as we're getting started. And then once I figure out how much we're going to need and how it's going to work, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll put this in the harvester after all, just so that I can easily mix the TMR. But I don't know. We're going to play with it. But for now, the bales are going to sit here. And I'm going to move this thing up and away from our bales before I put it back into operating position. There we are. And inquiring minds want to know if this has all been worth it, if it's going to work. So we're going to shut the truck down for a moment, and we're going to quick mix up a batch of this TMR. I'm going to start with just a single straw bale. And as expected, or not as expected, unfortunately, I'll say, this needs corn stalk bales. I cannot use regular straw for TMR on this map, at least on the version of the map that I'm on right now. I'm not surprised. I was kind of wondering about that because I saw the corn icon there. we can certainly get corn stalk bales, but I was really hoping that that was going to work. So unfortunately, we will not be feeding our cows with this straw. Instead, I guess we're going to be selling it. Well, I'm super bummed that this straw isn't working out. That was the main reason we took on that contract in the first place. But we can't do anything about it now. Might as well just profit from them a little bit. We do have a lot of debt to pay off anyway, so I'm going to send these on down to Rudy's feed store. I'm pretty sure that's where I was selling bales before. And we're going to jump on over here into the tractor. I don't see that it's off trying to do anything with the combine yet, so I'm going to go ahead and just hop in here myself. We'll see if we can go unload that combine and hopefully have enough to go top off the semi again. We're not too terribly far away from that. I'm not sure where it is. Oh, combine's way over there now. We must be on our next lands section? I don't know. But we'll shoot down here and see if we can follow it back up the other way and get a load of oats going. Looks like he's starting to get close to full. Not really, maybe a little over half. Should be able to get a fair amount off of the combine though. And indeed, we are starting a new lands area over here. Looks like we could have probably gone for wider land sections, but it is what it is. I should be able to squeeze right on up next to him. We've got plenty of time to unload on the way down, especially since we need to go down to that end of the field anyway to unload into the semi. See if we can do this one in cab. We're not doing too bad of staying lined up here as far as I can tell. Getting a little close to that header. Now, I think I've gotten just a smidge too far forward, so let's back it off. There we go. Don't have the combine operator yelling at us on the radio, so it's kind of hard to see what's going on sometimes. Much easier from the external view for sure. We've got to get a pretty much full grain cart here to top off that semi. I think the semi's got 990 something bushels, so I need to at least get over 1,000 bushels in the grain cart here before we move on. And it looks like the combine just got emptied. We're at 962 and we're crashing into the header here. Let's see if I can back things off a bit. My goodness, expensive maintenance bills when you run your grain cart into the header, I'm sure. And we're over 1,000 bushels, so I'm going to go ahead and just zip over here and get unloaded, get out of this combine's way. He's got it, and no sense just running a couple bushels at a time out into the grain cart. And then I probably need to go check on that bale trailer, make sure that it got up to the feed store, and we can start unloading that and bringing it back up here. We're going to have a lot of bales coming off of this field, so we might as well keep picking them up and keep sending them up to the sell point there. I'm really curious to see if this semi is going to be able to make the round all on its own. And there we go. Should be all topped off now. Yep, we got 8 bushels left, and I see the workers sitting in the semi already. Looks like it's off to the sell point. I like it. I'm going to go ahead and just put this guy over here on the headland. I figure if he's off on the side in the grass here, the combine will have more than enough room to turn around on the field. Shouldn't be a problem. And in case anybody's curious, we did not make it up to the sell point here. I don't even know which way I'm supposed to be going right now. Oh, the game just alt-tabbed. What's going on? All right, let's try this again. I think that these bales in this trailer are just too heavy for this little pickup, and it probably lost control on the curves and jackknifed. We're up here at Rudy's, and let's see. Oh yeah, that's probably what happened on that curve too. Let's see if we can figure out exactly where the sell point is. If I remember correctly, actually, if I remember correctly, this thing has the path all built into it. Yeah, it's gonna swing right around here. Again, with the pickup not having the mass to fight back against this giant trailer. But we might as well see if I can get this into position. I don't know where the zone is exactly, so I'm trying to figure out if I can unload them on the trailer and they'll start disappearing. Oh, yep, they're disappearing there quite well, actually. So I just needed to back up a bit. I went too far forward. I like it. All right. Ooh, and our environmental score reward is showing up with the bales as well. That's nice. Just checking in on our transport here. First hopper's unloaded. Second hopper's going all on its own. I like it. 28% hauled. This one will put us into the 30s. 38%. Not too shabby. Well, with both of those drivers on auto drive, I suppose we might as well jump over here and start unloading the combine again. Looks like our baler is catching up on all the work that he has to do. Another round and he'll be right back behind the combine. I'm kind of curious if I can swing around here and start unloading the combine, if the baler's going to slow down and wait for me, or if he's going to be a pain and try and rear end my grain cart. I guess there's only one way to find out. We might as well do it for science here. It does look like he's slowed down now. That's awesome. I love that Course got some smarts built into it. Well, we're just going to continue here to the end of the row, get the combine all nice and emptied out. I have to say we're a good chunk through this field now, although there is quite a bit left to harvest over there. I feel like if we're already at 38% of our grain hauled up to the elevator, though, that we're going to be in pretty good shape as far as having some leftover oats to sell for our own profit. I was not thinking we'd get nearly as much off of this field as we did. So that's pretty cool. And here comes our bale trailer already bouncing down the road. I'm honestly kind of surprised that it made it back up here, but I guess I shouldn't be. It was a decent course that we recorded there, and I expect to see the grain trailer sooner or later here as well. I'm gonna sit here on the end to make sure we're all emptied out. Looks good. Only 25% of the grain cart filled up. So I'm just going to pull this over here out of the way, like so. And we'll go ahead and get this bale trailer filled back up. I want to make sure I get it out of the way before the semi gets back up here, which the semi's bouncing down the road already. Awesome. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll come over here and grab the bales right in a view that we can see out of this section, and that way we can kind of just clear from one side of the field to the other. I know I've got a ton of bales in the middle there, but I don't know. I guess I won't have enough to fill up the trailer over here, so we'll have to come back over here and get the bales from the last couple of rounds anyway. But I figure we're here, we're facing this direction. Well, let's grab these bales first. And they are laid out in this nice staggered pattern for us, so we can grab all three rows pretty easily. Come over here and do the same with these last couple of bales, and then swing on over into this middle section. I think I went around and got all the bales off of the headland already, so that the workers aren't crashing into them as it's moving around the field. And just looking at how many bales we got, I kind of thought might have a full trailer already, but looking at it, I don't think we're quite going to fill up this trailer with the bales that we've got on the field right now. We might actually have to wait for those other two areas to get done. Looks like we're going to be sitting at 20 bales after I get this last bale loaded up here. We tackled all of the bales in that middle section. Well, we've got room for quite a few more here, so what I'll do is I'm just going to park this over here out of the way. We got to get this semi turned around and in position so that when we do fill it up, it can head right on back up to the elevator with all that grain. And of course, I'm addicted to getting these bales. It's like as long as I'm here, I want to get the bales that I can. So we'll go ahead and pick these up, although I know I'm not going to fill this trailer. Should have just parked up by the other equipment so I don't have to run so far. Well, it is what it is. Maybe we'll sneak up here. I think I can unload them directly from the back of the planter here. Yep, perfect. All right, I got 24. We're gonna let them finish up their thing here, and we'll head back up here. I'm just gonna park this thing up out of the way a little bit. And while we wait for the combine to fill back up, I thought I'd turn on the advanced view or the detailed view on the contract here. You can see we've got 60% of our field progress done, 39% of our delivery progress, which is awesome. And we're gonna make a profit from this harvest of $9,000 apparently. I don't know how it calculates all that, but that's cool. So we should end up with a fair amount of oats left over from this if we only need to deliver 110 and we've already done 70,000. So let me jump out here. I'm gonna get the semi turned around here. I think that's the best use of our time. And then we can jump in that grain cart and hopefully get a full load off of that combine here soon. Now turning this semi around is actually really easy because that driveway is at an angle already, so I just loop myself around here, cut it really tight to get turned around, and then once I'm back facing the right direction, we're just going to go ahead and hit the button and let it line itself up how it wants to. I could put a loop in that course so that it would do that automatically and all that good stuff, but sometimes it's just easier to jump in and manage the drivers for a bit. It looks like the combine's cutting through right now, so I will be able to follow him back down. I'm gonna move this a little bit further out of the way. I don't trust that it's completely out of the way with where we're at right now, especially with the combine cutting through right where we were parked. If I put it back here, I'm hoping it'll be a little bit better. Since we're waiting on the combine to finish cutting through, I figured we might as well go grab the last couple bales we need to top this trailer off. I need 4 more. I've got 2 sitting over here right now on this side, and I'm hoping by the time I get down to the other end of the field here that the baler is going to have 2 more ready for us on our way back up, and we can send this guy back to town. These straw bales make a lot more money than I was anticipating, so that's been good. We paid down all of the lease debt that we've had so far on our equipment. Man, we're lost in the trees, which has been good. I'm gonna leave this guy here for a minute while we wait for the baler. We'll hop on up to the other end of the field here. It looks like the combine's not full, but getting a decent size hopper going. I'm gonna go ahead and get fired up here and empty out because sometimes it takes me a minute to get into position, and by the time I do that, the combine will be a fair amount fuller. And the unload speed on this combine is not stellar, so it does take a couple minutes to unload. We'll probably be unloading for half of the way back down the field at this rate, which is a-okay. Definitely not gonna top off this grain cart with this unload though. That's all right. We'll wait until we get through the next couple of rounds. Not too worried about it. The field's this size though, we could get away with having 2 combines going pretty easily. That's my next upgrade that I'm thinking about, is should we get into having multiple combines? I don't know. We've got a lot of tractors on the farm. I feel like most of those jobs go pretty well. We could probably use another one of those manure spreaders though, just to speed things up because it's a pretty narrow work width. But other than that, I think the harvesting is the big limiting factor for me on the farm right now. I could keep up with a second harvester for sure. Well, we're not unloading very fast now, so what I'm gonna do is take the grain cart and pull over here so the baler can get by me. We're gonna go get that bale trailer moving up to town because I see 2 bales laying on the ground, and then we'll get this driver moved out of the way. Maybe what I'll do is we'll stay here for a second. I'm gonna get behind the baler. I'm gonna get back in that track so I don't need to worry about it again. We'll take the arm back in here so that the combine doesn't hit it on its way back down the other side. And if I just park myself right over here, we'll be out of the way. And this poor pickup truck, we keep leaving the engine running. We're gonna have fuel problems eventually at this rate. I'm gonna back us up so that I can get a little bit closer to this bale. One last bale on this side and we'll be good to go. Oh, I've got a driveway right here I can sneak out on. What we'll do is set this to Rudy's feed store, and I will have to drive this all the way down to the end to hook up to the auto drive course. I'm not gonna bother recording a course for this little piece of road, not worth my time. But if we drive to the end of the road here like so, and then just hit go, it should be able to keep moving all on its own. And the combine's not even that full, only 23% at the moment, so there's no rush to do anything to start unloading. Probably won't even bother start unloading until it catches up with the grain cart on its way back, which is fine. So I'm gonna jump over here and we'll just wait for it to make its way over here and get back to unloading. Nice to have a small break in the action. Well, we made it back up to Rudy's without any struggles here. So let me go ahead and see if we can just unload this again. Perfect, we've got it in just the right position this time to actually unload all the bales. And that's good to go. So let me go ahead, whoops, and set this up to go back to field 24 now. Should be able to just go from here. It made it back fine last time. I expect it'll make it back again. Our combine is 200 and some bushels now. We're almost caught up with the grain cart. I went ahead and backed the grain cart over here closer to the row so that I can get started. I've got it all set up and running here. Should be an easy unload. Not quite gonna get us full though. We're at 560. Let's say it's 250 by the time it gets here. That's only gonna be 800 bushels. I still need it to make a whole nother round before we can fill up that semi. Oh, that's all right. We're making progress here. I'm excited. And I'm kind of curious to see how many bales we get out of this land area, since we pretty well perfectly picked up the bales in the last land to send the trailer in. If we take count of how many bales I'm getting in a given land area, that'll give me an idea of how many more trailer fulls we're going to expect here as we keep working through the rest of this field. We've got at least one more land section here in the middle on the long rows, and then a couple on those shorter rows over there. And of course, we're not paying attention. We're losing out on unloading time. I do want to get it unloaded before we get to the end row, so let's get caught up here and unload this combine. I guess the unload speed isn't as slow as I thought it was. I mean, it's slow, but not unbearably slow, so we'll definitely get it unloaded before we get to the end row here. The downside of having the baler be caught up though is that we're gonna run into some of these bales, unfortunately. I don't know, I can probably squeeze past it or just push it along. I'm hoping we can sort of deflect it over here. It'll move out of the way, hopefully. Not move under. Nope, it's moving under. We've made mistakes. I suppose we're empty on the combine. We can let it go and I'll try and scooch around this bale here. Now I need another 150 bushels before we can top off the semi. I don't think we're gonna get there on the way back up, but what I'll do is we'll drive this up the field a little ways and be ready to unload the combine again on its way back down. I think that's our best bet. But I do want to catch it on the first half. I'm hoping we have 150 bushels by the time we get around here in the middle section. So that's what we'll do. I'll sneak my way past this bale if I can. Oh yeah. And we'll catch up with the combine right around here is going to be a good spot for us, I think. Our bale trailer has made its way back up to the field here. So let's go ahead and start loading bales. We'll see how far we get on this middle section. It'll give me a good idea of where we're at. Now, I'm trying to figure out where the bale tractor went. It's already behind the combine. Perfect. Oh, we're not in operating position. There we go. We just had this thing full. I wish I could remember how many bales it holds. I want to say it's 32? 24, 32, yeah, I want to say it's 32. Well, either way, we've got the bales that are available all loaded up, so I'm going to leave this trailer right here. And here we are, finally, the combine is over here. I'm hoping it's got enough to top off this grain cart. I really want to get another load going up to town here. And this is our next available load. I don't think our bales are quite going to catch up with us. I think we're going to have to get past this lands section before we're full up on enough bales to send that truck up to the town again. And here we go. We are going to make it past 1,000 bushels. I love it. We're going to keep going until the combine is empty. No sense in not doing that. I don't care if there's a few bushels left in the grain cart when we're all done. There we go. And now we've got jobs to do. I love it. I have to say I don't like when we're sitting around waiting for stuff to get done on big jobs like this. I like when we've got something to do. Got to keep things moving. We're at $26,000 in the bank right now as well from selling off all of that straw, which is a nice feeling. I do think we need to keep paying down some of our leases and some of our debt, probably a combination of the two. We have a fair amount of money paid down on the loan already. In fact, maybe while we get this trailer unloaded, I'll check that out. We're at 2.68 million, so we have paid down a few $100,000 on the main loan here. And then just looking at our leased items catalog, we have quite a few things that are leased that we've been putting hours on. I'm just kind of clicking into a few of these. Oh, even the grain cart's leased. I guess I didn't realize that. These big trailers released. We weren't going to hang on to both of those, but then we started doing so much silage. This thing is getting a lot of use. I'd really like to buy that. Even our combine is leased. I guess I forgot about that. We could pretty well buy this thing now. The more we use it, though, the cheaper it gets with the lease to own mod. So we'll kind of keep going on that. And ooh, our 9630 RT is also leased. Yeah, a lot of our tractors are leased. Well, I'll tell you guys what, after we get done with harvest this year, I think we're going to have to see about maybe buying some of these leased vehicles with the money we've got. And it looks like the combine and the baler have moved on to the next lands section here, cutting through on the last of the long rows, which means it's time for us to pick up a few more bales. It looks like we ended up with 18 bales from a single land, and about 60% of our capacity. Makes sense for the 32 bales that this thing holds. So we will need almost all of this next land area to get this bale trailer full, which is fine. Oh, we're gonna get lost in the trees here again. I'm gonna go ahead and just start moving down the center of this section so that we are ready to go and pick up more bales. Maybe I'll just follow them all the way down to the end of the field now that I'm here, and we'll be good to go. I think what we're going to do, though, now, is, since it's a little bit repetitive getting the rest of this stuff done, and honestly, they're more or less automated on this last bit of task, we won't have a lot to do other than unload the combine one or two times here. I'm going to go ahead and step away from this a little bit, let these guys run, and we will check back in as we get closer to the end of this field. So as I struggle through selling more bales because this pickup truck is just underweight for what we're trying to do with it. There's nothing wrong with the mod. It's just trying to pull a huge trailer like this with a Silverado 1500. Not really working out too well for us in the long run. I remembered that Northwest Mods and Edits has done another big update to his Ford F450 truck that we've been using, the Super Duty, And I think it's time we figure out if I can go ahead and sell off this pickup and maybe get access to that F450. I think that's going to do a lot better job of hauling things around. Perfect. $82,000. Not going to be enough to buy that Ford though. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and borrow out some money just to make sure I've got enough. I don't know how much I need exactly, but I feel like it's a $100,000 truck. And as always, I have to say I super appreciate Mr. DuBois over at Northwest Mods and Edits, because he has sent over a version that has my logo on the door, which is epic. I think I'm going to go with the flatbed. Normally I do the normal pickup. I'm trying to figure out what the difference is here. I'm not a Ford guy, but I think what we're going to do is go for the flatbed, get the FX4. We'll get the flatbed lights. We're going to get the ranch hand here. I feel like that's a necessity with how much the cows are walking around. And I definitely need the gooseneck hitch. Why don't we get all hitches just in case? Suspension standard. 1-inch front level. 2-inch lift, 4-inch lift. No, we don't need a lift. I'm going to give it a 1-inch front. No, we're going to do that because by the time I put a trailer on here, this thing's going to sink down. Ooh, it's got the winch from the DLC. I like it. I don't know if we're going to use it, but I'm going to put it on here because I like that. And then as always, we've got to get our other colors here. I'm trying to remember what color we usually get. Ooh, I kind of like that slate gray. Normally, I feel like we're in this black color, but maybe it's time to mix things up a little bit. That stone gray color, I like that. We're going to go with that. Awesome. And the flatbed color, I guess we could try the aluminum color. Yeah, we're going to go with this aluminum. I like it. And the toolbox color, I wonder if there was a toolbox we could have got for the back here. I'm not sure. Either way, I think we're going to run with that $97,900. That's a lot of money, but we've got it. We're going to justify this purchase with all the bale work that we're doing. And we're going to go ahead and jump back in here right away. I'm going to repay down all this money just because I don't want to mess up most of our progress. There we go. We've paid off $300,000 of $3 million. We're 10% paid back. And of course, we've got things set to spawn up at the farm, so my trailer is all the way back down on the other end of the map. I think we are going to be a little bit cheesy, and I'm just going to reset that trailer because I don't feel like driving all the way back down there just to pick up a trailer and drive all the way back up. So let's see if I can figure out how to grab that and hit reset. And we're going to go back into a vehicle that's got gears, which will line up a little bit better. I have to say, all the times I was trying to get into that Silverado, I kept trying to push the space bar to go into reverse, and it was throwing me off. So this is going to work out awesome. This is quite a bit louder of an engine than that Silverado as well. But let's see what this thing is going to do now when we start hauling all these bales. I can already tell though that this is a much better feel for a truck than that Silverado as far as pulling this great big trailer. I'm liking it. Let's get out to the field. We'll get the rest of these bales picked up here and see how this does on a trip up to the sell point. However, before we can do that, it looks like the combine got full while we were goofing off with buying a truck, and that's not good. So we're going to go ahead and get that combine moving so that we can finish up this field. We've just got the short rows left. I'm really hoping we can wrap this up in today's episode. We might run a little on the long side today as I'm getting all this recorded, but I love wrapping up a job in an episode. And it looks like not only are we needing to empty the combine out, but we're going to be able to send the semi back up to the co-op with another load of oats here. which is exciting. I am loving that we're that much closer. I want to say this is going to be one of the last semis we have to haul up to the elevator. We should start making some money on oats. I suppose I could put the oats in the bin that are left over. Let's see. I'll have to take a look. We've delivered 105. Oh, we have 75,500 to go in the liters side of things. I can't remember exactly how many liters that trailer is, but I feel like we probably have more than one more full trailer to go then, if that's the case. Not a problem. We've got plenty of oats left to harvest. I'm going to try and top off the grain cart as much as I can here. We're all empty on the combine. So if I can sneak out of the way before he turns into me. And it looks like I'm going to have enough bales laying out here to finish off the trailer and get that sent up. I know we were talking earlier, I said it was a 32 bale trailer. It's only a 30 bale trailer. For some reason I thought they stacked higher than they did. So we've got 30 bales that we need to load up to be able to fill that trailer. I don't know. I think we're probably going to be close by the time I get this emptied out and get the semi moving and all that. We'll probably have 30 bales to pick up. So we'll see. We'll see. We should have a little bit more left in the grain cart this time than we did last time. I feel like we got a lot closer to being full. Now my first test obviously is to get going way too fast. And then after we grab this bale, I'm going to start to turn on my headland here and we'll slow down. And usually this would cause the trailer to force the truck to jackknife horribly on that Silverado. And look at this thing. This thing just powers through. Didn't even notice I've got a trailer behind me here. I love it. We should have made this upgrade a couple years ago, but man, this truck is actually pretty expensive. So I didn't have a lot of spare money until now. I figure doing this straw job is justifying. So we were at 75,500 to go. Now we're at 40, which means we need at least one more full semi and a little bit to finish off this contract. This semi trailer appears to be about 35,000 liters, which is great. We're a good chunk of the way through the field now. I'm confident that we've got enough oats out here to finish that off. We are onto the shorter rows now, though, officially. So we're going to keep pushing on this, and let's get it wrapped up. I have to say, I went from having complete confidence in our ability to finish this contract, no issue, to looking at the fact that I don't have that extra truck full, and I know I need a little bit more after the truck is in to finish off the contract. And we don't have that much of the field left now. So confidence level dropping significantly on being able to finish up this contract. I think I'll get the one full truck in here for sure. We've got 764 bushels, it looks like. Oh, I've got just a couple more. Yeah, the combine is empty, so I need at least another round to fill off this trailer, maybe more. And we're not there yet. So it is what it is. I left this grain cart right in the way. I'm gonna have to pull this around. I didn't see this one last pass over here. Let's get this off on the side a little bit. Don't want to go too far into this ditch with a full grain cart or a nearly full grain cart. That'd be a disaster for sure. So I'll leave it over here. This is nice and out of the way. And we finally have filled up the bales on this trailer, so we can give this a little bit of a field test here. You remember with that Silverado, every time we turned at anything over 10 miles an hour, we had massive problems with it jackknifing and going all over the place. This seems to be handling it a lot better. The steering's a little softer, I'll say, on this, where you don't turn quite as rapidly, which is nice with the steering wheel. I feel like the suspension and everything handles some of the stuff a lot better, but you can still jackknife it if you get going fast enough. So that's my review here. Is still happy with my investment. let's get this guy going on up to the sell point, get out of the negative. We've had some lease costs come in. I hate seeing negative numbers up there. We'll get this all wrapped up very quickly here. We have finished the field, and I don't think we've quite got enough oats here to fill up that semi. I'm driving the combine back up to the other end of the field, and as we go, I'm picking up any lost bits here and there that we see. I've already managed to get about 4 bushels doing this, which is more than I expected, but not enough to finish this contract, I don't think. We'll see. I might be nervous for no reason. I should probably just head it up, but I don't have enough to fill the semi for sure. Well, we've only got 800 and, I don't know, maybe 50 bushels sitting in that grain cart right now. And this 50 bushels isn't gonna put us over the top there to get it full. Now, maybe I'm misinterpreting how the contract system works and we don't need to deliver that full amount that's listed on that details screen. We'll see. But either way, I figured it couldn't hurt. We're gonna drive the combine back up to the other end of the field anyway. We might as well pick up all of these big chunks on the corners that we missed out on the first time around. Well, we had a little bit more oats in this thing than I thought. We're at 877 bushels, but still not enough to fill up this semi, unfortunately. So I've been thinking about it, and if we do come up short, I'm gonna count that as not our fault, because we did an impeccable job getting all the crops off of this field, even went back for the course play corners. So I think what we'll do if we come up short is we'll just use easy dev tools to fill up one of the hoppers on this semi with some extra oats and see if it'll deliver them that way. I'm not sure if that's going to work or not, but it should. We'll find out. There we go. We're all filled up here. Let's jump in that. And it's taken off on its own. We're at 93%, 930 bushels. Perfect. And here we go, unloading the front hopper. Hoping to see that contract percent complete moving up a little bit faster. We're 96% complete total and 85 on the transport side. Let's see it. Last hopper. We have not completed, 94% complete. So like I said, we're gonna come in to this menu here. Go to the vehicle menu, fill level. We're gonna go fill level 2 as the back hopper, I think. Wheat, boom. And let's try that one more time, folks. Oh, we're actually selling this time, so it's not counting as contract wheat. So unfortunate. All right, well, I don't know what to do here. Percentage of the estimated total yield you must deliver to complete a harvest contract. Maybe if I bump this down a little bit, I wonder if that will take effect retroactively. Oh, it did. Contract completed. Let's go ahead and collect that. And yeah, thank goodness for the advanced contract mod thing there. We got a little bit of extra contract income. We got a little bit of extra for the wheat we sold there. That was like, what, $8,000 or something for that wheat. Not a huge amount of cheating going on here. And we got a bunch of money for straw, which is both good and unfortunate because we wanted to use that straw to feed our animals. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, so now we're stuck looking for feed in other places. That's all right, we'll figure it out. However, this has been a rather lengthy episode, and I think we're gonna wrap things up here. Make sure to check out Northwest Mods and Edits if you like the Ford Super Duty that we've got there with all the upgrades, and he's also got a couple of other mods that he's been updating recently, so make sure to check him out on Facebook. If you enjoyed the episode, hit that thumbs up button for me. It helps me out a lot. That's all for today. Kedrick out. I've got a lot of hay in the silos right now, so I'm not going to have to worry about it too much in the shortest term. That bump was a little much. Oh, we backed over the sign to boot. Where is my baler going? He like just drove through that ditch and is on a mission to go who knows where. I have to go rescue him from himself, it looks like.